to worry about because I have an external source. Wow. Being lifted off the chair like that while upside down.
The first time, that one caught me by surprise. When I got lifted off the seat, I was like, oh my god. And then I kept doing it, and I was like, oh, this is not good.
I know when you said kept doing it. Yeah, he kept doing it. I'm like, I thought it was just one and done. It's like, 2 more.
Oh man.
That's why I thought I'd ask.
Oh, the poster was right there.
Yeah, I know. They have a Spirit jersey.
Oh, here or
Mondo showed the Spirit jersey.
here or
Yeah, here.
Oh, okay. I was like, Disney already?
I was like, wow. But doesn't say Treehouse of Horror. That's the only bad thing. It just shows the characters with the kind of weird look, and then on the back it just shows Homer.
Oh, so they're getting around the copyright. So they don't have to say Treehouse, it just says Simpsons. Can't wait for the photos to show up, but I don't know where the camera was.
I don't either. Well, it had to be afterwards because I was putting so it wasn't at the beginning because I was putting my glasses like this at the time when the photo came. It's not open?
It's open.
Oh.
No, it's just the hole.
Oh yeah, they got new Horror Night.
We have express passes to give out, guys.
Hey, this is the tree from Jurassic Park.
Okay, all I can say is at least I wrote it.
Yeah, I know. Is it? Yeah, like you said, I don't think it's something I want to come back.
Yeah,
Studio Tour's my ride.
It's like if we come, do Sturdy Tour for sure, and then if there's a short line, then yeah. I just gotta prepare myself for the locker.
Yeah, I never watched any of the videos.
For the locker, that's the thing I gotta prepare myself for.
But they keep saying, put your glasses away. What glasses are you talking about?
I think they just meant any glasses if you didn't want to lose them.
Maybe, but I had the straps. You know, I don't pay $60 for that one. I mean, I have to use it wisely. Because it was overheating then. Watch, I have the ride.
So that's worse than the first Instant 360 that overheated.
I think a lot of them only last for like 12 seconds.
So what you gotta do is what? Just like instantly record it once it just like takes off, once it starts?
Once it starts, start recording. Hey, good morning. Thank you. Thank you much.
Yeah, because it's like...
Hi, I'm Alicia. In just a few minutes, you're going to board our train for a tour movie theater that can last as long as 1 hour.
That's right, an hour. The beautiful length of the tour we always recommend that use the restrooms here in the train. You're welcome.
Go ahead and take any open seats, guys. Any open seats. Any open seats. Any open seats.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood, and welcome aboard the world-famous studio tour. As you make your way on board, please move all the way to your right-hand side. We want to be able to share our tour today with as many fellow guests as possible. If you have any small children whose feet don't touch the ground, please make sure that they are in the center of the row for safety's sake. We do get bounced around pretty frequently during the tour. We want to make sure that everybody is comfortable and safe above all else. Now, if you're thinking, wow, what a cool voice. I wonder what the face attached to that voice looks like. Here it is. Hi, I'm Steve. I'll be your tour guide today. I'm excited to share some of our movie making background with you as we go through our more than 400 acres of studio and show you a little bit of our history and what's going on today. It's a very busy day on our lot. We have our comedy St. Denis Medical in production on our lot. We have a few things that are under NDA that are on our lot filming. NDA is just a fancy industry term that means I'm not allowed to talk about it. But I will point it out, and you'll see it as well. So keep your eyes open, keep your cameras ready. If you want to take photos of anything, you are more than welcome to do that during the tour. Anything that you can see, you can snap a photo. Totally okay to do. And we encourage that. We want you to have great memories of this because it's rare that you get to come to a theme park that is also a working movie studio, one of the biggest and busiest in the world. I love that. I love my job. I love that you're here. I'm ready to have a good time. Are you guys ready to have a good time? Let's try that again. I know it's early, it's Wednesday, but are you ready to have a good time? Woo! All right, that's acceptable. Thank you. You know, one director we've had a lot of collaboration with over the years is Steven Spielberg, starting with his first big hit, Jaws, all the way up to the recent hit Disclosure Day. Here's Mr. Spielberg to talk about his relationship with us.
When I was about, 16 years old, and I began hanging out at Universal during my summers. And when I went to college nearby, I continued to come on the lot and try to become a director. So Universal sort of is my birthplace. This is the place I consider my first home. And I love it here. And I keep coming back.
Oh yeah, this Wednesday. This is the first time I'm here without being out on the
You know, I mentioned earlier how it's a busy day on the lot. There's a lot of things moving, a lot of things in production. Our series, The Burbs, which is now streaming season 1 on Peacock, is prepping to come back to do season 2. That series stars Keke Palmer, and it is a reimagining of the 1989 film that starred Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. Here's a look at that series.
Ashfield Place, the safest town in America. So, what's the deal with that Victorian house? There have been whispers of murder. Which one of us is the murderer? So are we gonna go in?
Do white ladies love salads? Hell yeah, we're going in.
It's a super fun dark comedy. Check that out now on Peacock. Yeah, it's a busy day on the lot. We are going to see so much. I can't wait to get going with you. But let me learn a little bit about you. How many people on my tram right now are taking your tour for the first time? Amazing. You are my favorite guests because you're not going to know when I mess up. And those of you that have done this tour like 50 or more times, please don't tell them when I mess up. We can settle up about that after the tour. I'm kidding. I never mess up. I'm perfection. You're perfection. We're perfection. We're here to have a good time. It's a Wednesday morning. It's hump day. We're going to get over that hump by visiting a live movie studio, and I can't wait. You know, let's get some tunes going to keep our energy up as we get ready to go here. We wait for more guests to join. Getting the last couple of guests on board to join us, I did want to make sure that I mentioned, first of all, those of you that joined after I introduced myself, my name is Steve. I'll be your guide today. We've got about 45 minutes to an hour to spend together, seeing some really fun and really cool things. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. I hope that my excitement spills over and you get just as excited as me if you're not already, because this is the fun tram. This is the party tram. We do not do boring on my tram. We love movies, and we're gonna see some great stuff, and we're gonna have a great time together no matter what happens. And I have to introduce you also to the most important person on the tram. That is our driver, because our tour is only as good as our driver, and we have a great driver today. Can you give it up, please, for Titus? If it wasn't for him, it would just be me talking, sitting here, and you eventually would leave to ride rides or get snacks or something. So I'm really grateful that he's here, and we're going to have an amazing tour. One thing that we're really proud of in our 111-year history, if you can believe that we've been open here on the lot, we've had several Academy Award-winning movies, and here is just a little selection of those.
I'm bad. I'm not bad, no. I'm Robin.
My knight in shining armor. Don't you forget it. I will have poetry in my life. And adventure.
Yeah, and I'm great with people. I have kids. Learned a lot right there.
Oh yeah.
You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view.
Give him good one. Give him good one. If everybody leave the bed, I know what's to lead. Get the boat home. You know what? I'm gonna go my own way. And I say, we have got to give them hope.
Like push time.
Yeah. I don't know, to me it was like just like a car coaster, just a quick roller coaster ride, just with upside down, more upside down.
Oh yeah, and the twist part. I wasn't expecting certain parts to happen.
Or not to be. That is the question.
See, I don't know what I like better. If I like the upside down on that, or if I rather just the normal. We're like the Incredibles.
Yeah, my two parts were the shoot off and then the upside down turn. The upside down parts turn. The sad part was it was like there was no one looking down there. It was everyone. I don't know why I was doing a Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah.
I was doing Doctor Strange like woo. I was watching it yesterday.
We got clearance to go. So we are headed out. Wave goodbye to the people on your left. Likely will not see them again. Who knows? Life is crazy. All right, so you know two of the three members of the Dream Team, Steve, the tour guide, Titus, the driver. I have one more person to introduce to you, and that is my celebrity co-host. You know him from The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide,
Steve,
and the greatest driver,
Titus.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Steve
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
I'll Venmo you, Jimmy. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or you drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please, no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared, our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects, so you may get wet. There are also sudden tram movements during the tour, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. And with that, we have left the theme park. We're crossing into our front lot. To your left, you'll see the track for our newest attraction, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. We're putting the finishing touches on that for you, and we can't wait to share that with you later in 2026. Universal Studios is part of NBC Universal, a leading entertainment company that includes Universal Pictures, Focus Features, Peacock, and NBC Television. This year, NBC is celebrating its 100th anniversary. From pioneering television and radio to launching The Today Show, The Voice, Saturday Night Live, The Office, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and every beloved show in between, NBC has been the home for entertainment, news, and sports for a full century. We're celebrating the network all year long. On your right is Fire Station 51. This is not a movie set, folks. This is a real working fire station. Why? Because we are our own city. You're technically not in Los Angeles right now. You're in Universal City. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, set us apart as our own city for independent movie-making reasons. He first opened the lot to the public on March 15, 1915. At that time, people could come in, they could pay a quarter to watch movies being made. And they could also make a lot of noise while they were here. They could laugh if something was funny. They could cheer on the heroes. They could boo the villains. Whatever noise they made didn't matter. Because remember, these were still silent movies. No sound was being recorded. That all changed around 1928, 1929. We had to stop letting people in for a little while. And we built sound stages like the one that you see now on your left. This is Soundstage 12. This is one of our oldest and largest sound stages at 30,000 square feet. It has been the host of productions like these. The image that I froze on your screen there is what an empty soundstage looks like. It basically looks like a huge warehouse, and look at all of that soundproofing material along the walls. That's a lot like what you have inside of your mattress at home. We need sound stages to be as close to soundproof as possible because sound is the hardest element to control. Keep your eyes open. Some of these stages on your left, 7 through 11, may have an open door and you may be able to peek inside. These stages, by the way, have been home to shows like Superstore with America Ferrera, Grand Crew with Echo Kellum and Carl Tart, Bel Air, our dramatic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and more recently Hacks with Gene Smart and Hannah Einbinder, which recently set a record for the most nominations for a comedy on the Emmys in one season with 24. Superstore, Grand Crew, and Bel Air are all streaming on Peacock. Hacks, a Universal Television production, is streaming on HBO Max. On your left are several production vehicles. Now this production is under NDA. Again, I can't tell you anything about that, but I can tell you that they are working in Soundstage 14 and a couple of others. Soundstage 14 on your left is another large soundstage. Do we have any Jurassic Park fans on board today? All right, a lot of good taste on the tram, love it. Jurassic Park, the original, filmed a couple of scenes in Stage 14. One where the two children and Dr. Grant are up in the tree. They get sneezed on by the dinosaur. And then right before that, where their Jeep drops over the wall after the T-Rex attack and it ends up falling on top of them. Stage 14 was also used to construct mission control for Ron Howard's Apollo 13. Now, when a film or a show is made on our lot, there are 4 stages of production that happen here. There are development, pre-production, production, and post-production. Studio Post on your left is a post-production facility. This is where things like film editing, sound mixing, adding music, re-recording dialogue, other things that have to happen before we can deliver the final product to you happen. And stages 16 through 19 on the right have been home to a lot of our legendary TV productions over the years. Here's a little highlight of some of them in order of release. Stage 19, coming up on the right, was used for the Oval Office scenes in 2023's Oppenheimer, as well as the recent series The 5-Star Weekend, starring Jennifer Garner and Darcy Carden, which is now streaming on Peacock. and the upcoming series Sunset PI, which stars Jake Johnson from The New Girl. That is coming this fall. On your left, it's our first celebrity sighting. It's Tad. Tad is welcoming us to the production bungalows. The production bungalows are where those first two stages that I just mentioned happen, development and pre-production. Development is when a screenwriter gets together with the director and maybe a producer, they map out the story together, and then the screenwriter finishes at least one draft of the script. Pre-production is where they hire the production crew. They cast all of the acting roles in the project. They decide if they're going to film here or on location somewhere, and other things that need to be figured out before those cameras can roll. Companies that have offices in our bungalows here are Illumination, who make the Despicable Me and Minions films, Charlize Theron's Secret Menu Productions, Mike Schur, who created The Good Place and Parks and Rec, his company Fremulon, Snoop Dogg's Death Row Pictures, and Mark Platt Productions, who produced Wicked and Wicked for Good, as well as the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. Their offices are there with the MP sign to your left and the Wicked balloon. Bungalow 5195 was home to a very legendary director. This was the office of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. Good aim. One thing that I love as a comic book fan about Alfred Hitchcock, he had one thing in common with Stan Lee. He loved to cameo in his own projects, just like Stan. It's like they couldn't help themselves. On your left is stages 25 and 26, some of our newest sound stages. These are home to our sitcom St. Denis Medical. Here's a little preview of that show. Seasons 1 and 2 now streaming on Peacock.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center. St. Denis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man. That was a test. Boom.
We're like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want him to get better. Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse.
Yeah.
Wow.
On your left, you see our Metropolitan sets, or our Metro sets. These are city sets. They are hard at work. There's a production going on in there today, but we're leaving that concrete jungle behind and heading to the actual jungle. Here's Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson to tell you more about what's happening.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. And to me, Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. And it's great to have you along for the ride. We're about to return to Skull Island.
Adventure awaits us, so stay seated and hang on. We are returning to Skull Island.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs.
Island, hidden, folk. Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. A hunger for blood. Aren't they brutal?
was King Kong 360. I hope you're all okay. I heard a lot of screaming there. Let's do a little check-in. Car 1, are we okay? All right. Car 2, how are we doing back there? All right. Car 3, how are we doing? That's it. Car 3 knows what's going on. Car 4, how are we doing? All right. Car 5, oh, Car 5's still in the jungle. That epic battle that you just witnessed was designed by Peter Jackson and the team at Weta FX. Computer-generated imagery and digital effects have been tools in movie making for many years, and have helped to create the worlds in many of your favorite Universal pictures, from action to fantasy to sci-fi and more. All right, and as we pass back by our Metropolitan sets here, I would ask you to take a look on your left at these brick walls. If that brick doesn't look entirely real, spoiler alert, it's not. When we construct sets on our lot, we use lighter weight materials, primarily what I refer to as the 3 Ps, plaster, plywood, and plastic. Now, why would we do that instead of heavier materials? Many reasons. If there's damage and we need to repair it, it is much simpler and quicker to do with these materials. If we need to tear down a building and build a different building for a production, it takes so much less time, and it's cost effective. Even on big budget productions, which we do have here at Universal frequently, we have to make sure costs don't rise, and they can rise very easily. And one way we can do that is to make sure that we are using those affordable materials that look just as convincing on camera as the real thing. And you do see a lot of vehicles here. Active production, like I said, in our Metropolitan sets. This just goes to show you it takes a lot of crew, a lot of cast, a lot of artists on the production side and in front of the camera for any production. And on your right, you will see our classic Universal Monsters mural designed by Tristan Eden. Here's the behind the scenes on your screen. If you can't see the mural very well, this will give you an idea of what it's all about. But this tributes our Wolfman, the Gill Man from Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein's monster, the Bride of Frankenstein, and Dracula. Our classic monsters were very important to our studio's history. I will talk about that a little bit more as we get further on in the tour. Also, if you're a Back to the Future fan, check out the DeLorean and the Lion Estate signs where Marty lived in 1985. On your left, stages 30 and 31 are home to The Voice, which is working on completing production on season 30 currently. And The Voice uses a studio audience. If you'd like to be in the studio audience for a show like The Voice, go to oneiota.com to register. The tickets are typically free, and they're usually done by a lottery system. That's the number one, iota.com. Across the lake, stage 33 is home to a sitcom starring one of our coaches from season 28 of The Voice, Reba McEntire. This show is coming back soon to start working on season 3, and it is called Happy's Place.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire, and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on the Universal lot. Now, unlike most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle, all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to taping in front of a live studio audience. And let me tell you, every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you at Happy's Place. Yoo-hoo! I'm starting to sweat. The men are the ones who are supposed to ask the women out. That hasn't been true for 30 years. I haven't dated in 30 years.
Happy's Place, Friday on NBC and Peacock.
Yeah, as you see, they're prepping that show actually today. The sign's back there for the tech crew parking as they prep for production soon. And I mentioned our monsters. You know, our classic monsters mostly got their start here in Little Europe. We call this area Little Europe because we can dress this up to be any country in Europe, as well as other locations, but you might know it more recently as The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This
location. The afterlife? Come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Okay, well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Little Europe was more recently used for our upcoming Peacock series Dig, created by Amy Poehler and Mike Schur, starring Amy Poehler and Hugh Laurie. All episodes of Dig will be streaming on Peacock starting November 23rd. This was also used for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the flashback scenes to Ireland with Angel's backstory, as well as Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement with Anne Hathaway. But let's talk about those monsters. This, on your right, is the Court of Miracles. This was where the mobs would usually gather in those monster movies to get their torches, get really mad, and hunt down the creatures, like the clips on your screen here.
What is it now? The monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
And as I said earlier, our monsters really saved us at one point. In the Great Depression, our monster movies were actually big hits, starting with 1931's Dracula. That starred Bela Lugosi. And Bela Lugosi was slated to play the creature in Frankenstein after that. He designed his own makeup for the creature. He brought it to the producers and the director. They did not like it, not at all. He got very upset with them for rejecting it, and he said, well then you should get a background actor to play the creature. He doesn't have lines anyway, it's beneath me. That's how Boris Karloff wound up playing the creature. They both went on to have long careers, but for a couple of decades we were known as the Monster Movie Studio. Something very fun and cool is happening now. I didn't want to spoil it in case it didn't work out, but we are visiting a hot set. So remember, stay seated, hold on tight, hang on to your cell phones and other items. This is a hot set, which means that it is ready for filming. You see the audio equipment and the video equipment over there, the lights and everything. We've got a scene ready to be filmed at the ticket machines, the director's chair, the monitor, the camera, all ready to go. Hair and makeup and wardrobe in this back corner. Also craft services, very important because that's where our coffee, other drinks, and food are to keep us going. Okay, folks, it's LA, this happens. It's just a little shake. Hold on tight, I'm sure it's fine. Congratulations! You just survived Earthquake, the big one. Our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark, so I just want to remind everybody to stay seated during the entire tour. The studio is private property, and if you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord to get my attention, and I will be back to assist you. But do remain seated on the tram. Now, I had mentioned earlier, talking about all of these shows that are currently filming on our lot and that they had to kind of prep to get ready. There's a lot of work that goes into what we call pre-production, including art direction and art design. Here's just a little sampling of some of our movies throughout our history and all of the production design, art direction that went into making those possible. I did want to mention too, of course I know you all see Bruce, our shark here. He is, just like we do, he's undergoing his annual checkups, but his checkups take a couple of weeks because mechanical sharks, you know, it's a little more complex than us. So hopefully he'll be back up and running sometime very soon, but you know, we want to make sure that he's good to go. This area, by the way, if you remember the classic series on CBS from the 80s and early 90s, Murder, She Wrote, this was Cabot Cove. This was where Angela Lansbury's character resided. And now we are heading into Old Mexico, one of my favorite spots on the lot, but we're here for a weather demonstration. If you know anything about Southern California weather, it doesn't change very often. So if we want to have weather in our production, we have to know how to create it. So we're going to create a storm today. There's the thunder coming from the speakers. Across the way on the building to the left of cars 2 and 3 and 4, you see that lightning. That's from a strobe light. So we have the thunder, we have the lightning, we just need one more ingredient. So with that being said, let's make it rain. There it is. It beat me, it's early. That is a very sophisticated piece of tech that I call a sprinkler. But in all seriousness, the sprinkler shoots the water straight up so that when it falls, it looks like real rain. Also notice how big those drops are. We need it to be that big to read on camera. If you've ever watched sports where it's raining, you'll notice the ref's shirt, the coach's jacket, the players' uniforms all get wet, but you can't see the raindrops. It's too small to read. It has to be that big. And if we were really filming this, we would put light behind it or to the side to make it show up a little better. Okay guys, we can turn the water off now. I think we got it. Guys, we turn the water off. Oh, no, oh no, the other way, off. Oh no, I'm so sorry, cars 3 and 4. Oh no, and maybe car 2. Oh, and maybe car 1. That's Flash Flood, our oldest attraction on the tour. You might have seen that in Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz and Paul Giamatti.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid!
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Hang on, funny folks!
And you know, I mentioned a little earlier our relationship with Steven Spielberg. It goes back even further than his first movies. It goes back to when he was a teen. I'll let Mr. Spielberg tell you more about that.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. This was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
On your right, this house is the Chicken Ranch. This was used in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. This is an example of what we call a practical set. That means that it's fully built inside and out. If you go inside, you can film the bottom floor and the top floor. They're both fully finished like a real house. Behind it is a great example of what we call a facade. That's a false front. We only built that section of the wall of the house because that's all we needed for production. One of our little tricks to keep costs under control and to save time in our pre-production process. We're now entering Wilderness Road. We call it that because we like to keep the nature aesthetic, because sometimes we need to have a scene that takes place in a forest, so we can go right inside these trees and do that, or we need a scene that's on a road in the middle of nowhere. This is that road. We've used this for things like Bird Box with Sandra Bullock on Netflix, 911 with Angela Bassett on ABC, and for those of you Ariana Grande fans, her recent video, I Hate That I Made You Love Me, filmed its opening scene here on Wilderness Road. It opens with a scene with Justin Long's character driving and having an accident. That was right here. So having a place like that to film is really convenient. Anytime that we can film on our lot, it's better than going on location in a lot of ways because we don't have to transport all of our equipment, our whole production crew, our cast. We can keep it all right here, and it saves time, saves money. Now, when that car I mentioned went on camera in the video, it became a picture car. A picture car is any vehicle that makes it on camera in a film, a show, a music video, a commercial, like the ones on your screen. Like I said, not just a car, it could be a truck, a plane, a motorcycle, a boat, a helicopter. We have more examples in real time coming up on your left. Our Glamour Tram from when we first launched the studio tour in 1964. Our tour is 62 years old, if you can believe it. Some vehicles from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. The Ford Anglia from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You remember how that flew through the air? Our Flintstones vehicles, very cartoonish, yet it's prehistoric times. Coming up here on the left, Biff's Ford from Back to the Future. That tells us a lot because whenever we see that vehicle, we know that it's 2015, whether it's in part 1 or part 2. So picture cars really give us a lot of information about the world of the film or the show that we're watching. It helps to make it more rich and more believable so we can just enjoy the story. Now we're cruising by a quaint little motel under construction right now, but this is the Bates Motel.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
And coming up at the top of the hill, this is the original Bates house used in the 1960 film Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. One of the oldest sets we still have standing on the lot. We're very happy that we can share it with you on the tour today. And sometimes Norman, believe it or not, likes to come out and greet guests. He's a lot more sociable than you would think, but it looks like he might be out, and I think I know why. We were talking yesterday, and he mentioned that he had a hot date, which I was surprised too. But he said that this girl is really great, and she's been dying to meet him. So leaving behind a site of a personal tragedy and heading into the site of a global tragedy, this is the plane crash set from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Here's production designer Rick Carter and Steven Spielberg to tell you more.
The airplane crash site is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Eyes on me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
That is a real 747, by the way. It was bought from an airplane graveyard for $60,000 and then shipped here for almost $200,000. So just like in real life, in our industry, it's still the shipping that gets you. We are about 10 minutes from the end of the tour, so just a reminder, stay seated, hang on tight, hold on to your personal belongings, pull that red cord if you have an emergency. We are leaving one alien attack set and going to another. We are heading into the real sets from Jupiter's Claim from Jordan Peele's Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Did you see anything? Nope. That was a demonstration in sound design. So if you were looking all around trying to figure out where all those sounds were coming from, it worked. Get your cameras ready. Coming up on your right is a filming location called Falls Lake. It features one of the world's largest freestanding blue screen backdrops. And next to it is a set piece built right here on the lot for one of the biggest blockbusters of the year. Christopher Nolan shot almost all of the Odyssey on fantastic locations around the world, including Scotland, Morocco, and Iceland. However, principal photography wrapped up right here at Falls Lake, with this very ship coming up on your right in the water. After enduring all the challenges on location like freezing temperatures and rain, Matt Damon and the crew joked that they would have an easier time filming here in the controlled environment of our studio lot, only to find out that with 2 jet engines blasting water at them, they were just as cold and wet being on the ship here at Falls Lake as they were on the real ocean. Check out Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, filmed with IMAX cameras, in theaters now.
Odysseus, don't you want to remember?
I remember the wife, the son. I can still save them. No one can stand between me and home. Not even the gods. The Odyssey now playing in theaters everywhere. Rated R.
If you haven't, do download the Universal Studios Hollywood app. It'll give you ride wait times, mobile food ordering options, park hours, we close at 7 p.m. today, and much, much more. We would like to say a special thank you to our annual pass members joining us today. If you would like to convert your ticket to an annual pass, see the box office or go to guest relations. If you would like to purchase any of the films you saw on the tour today, go to universalpicturesathome.com. All right, we're going to have you back in the park shortly so you can get on with your day, whether that means getting a little food, getting on a ride, maybe checking out Waterworld at the next showtime. We will have you back pretty soon. We just got to make sure traffic ahead of us is clear, which it looks like it just might be. But I just want to give you a special thank you for being on my tour today. I love giving tours, and you were a fantastic group. So thank you so much. Did you guys have fun with me today? Great. Thank you so much. Again, so grateful. This is a great way to start our day. I hope you're going to have a great day in the park. And can we get one more cheer for our driver, Titus? Woo! It's the one that made it all possible. Glad he was aboard today. Just want to say a few things before we get back. Do stay seated until our studio tour ambassadors can come safely open your doors, and then step carefully off of the tram. We want to make sure everybody stays safe the whole time. I will be at the studio directory to the left. If you have any questions or you want to say hi, you don't have to, but you're welcome to. I promise. I'm really nice. And beyond that, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood. And as we say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.